Solo Jazz Saturday. This week we're going to be talking about solo jazz moves that begin on the odd parts of phrases as opposed to the even counts. So we're mostly going to be focusing on count 1, but you can also start these moves on count 3, count 5, or count 7. It's all fair game.
For a lot of these moves, we're going to be talking about different parts of our foot. So we're going to go over that before we start the actual moves. So on our foot, I like to think of it as having 4 zones. So we have our heel, which is here. The center of our foot, meaning our weight is pretty much balanced between the front and the back. We have the ball of our foot, which as Lindy hoppers, that's where our weight is most of the time. Our weight's a bit forward, so our heels can bounce up and down. And then we have our toe. We never really go onto our toes in Lindy hop, but it's good to know that they're there just in case. So heel, center, ball, toe. So it's great to just move through those 4 and be able to figure out the distinction between them. Boom. Kind of wave back and forth. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom, boom. But yeah, we just wanted to point out those different sections. The ones we're going to be focusing on today are the ball of the foot and the heel. So we're going to be moving between the ball and the heel of your feet, back and forward. So think about the weight on your heel as opposed to the ball of your foot, because we're going to be switching between them.
And the first move that we're going to be talking about that uses that weight shift is the Suzy Q.
Suzy Qs. So Suzy Qs look like this. And you can go both directions. So to start this off, we can, let's see, we're going to typewriter over. So pick one side first, and you're going to take that foot, and you're just going to cross it over in front of the other one. And cross and step. Cross and step. Cross, step. As you can switch and go the other direction. Cross, step. Boom, 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 boom.
Once you have that down, we're going to start talking about where you put your weight on each foot, because on the Suzy Q, you have different weight on each foot depending on which one is forward and which one is back.
Yeah.
So on the forward foot, we're going to be having most of our weight on the heel.
Yeah. You'll see a lot of people stick their foot up like this. We want you to keep it down as much as possible. So your weight's on the heel, so you can kind of fan your foot up like this. So you can move the rest of your foot while your heel stays anchored.
And the back foot, conversely, is going to be on the ball of your foot. So you can fan out your heel on that foot. So let's take a second to just practice moving each part of our foot individually. We want to try being able to fan both the front of our feet and the heels of our feet separately. So spend a little bit of time on one foot, just fanning it back and forth.
And then the ball of your foot. So what you're going to do is you're going to alternate between the two. So just like we went step, step, so now instead of stepping, you're going to fan, fan, fan. So you're going to fan, step, fan, 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 in, up, in. You can try it the other way too. One side is always going to feel weirder than the other one. So if we step, boom, step, step, boom, bang, boom, bang. So I like to think of this like the fan is pushing me. Boom, push, push, in, push. And then my other leg is pulling it back together again. Boom. Push in, push in, push in, push in. So watching us do it, you'll notice that our entire leg is moving. So it's a lot in the knees. Boom, open, boom, open, boom. This help gives the full effect instead of just your feet moving.
Yeah, the knees are what really sells this move.
Boom, 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 boom. Toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. So we're still just stepping, but we're moving different parts of our feet while we're stepping. Boom, open, in, I just did it, that was exaggerated. But it's almost like we're pushing ourselves to the side. Boom, 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 boom. A great way to practice this on both sides, going back and forth, is 8 counts one direction and 8 counts the other direction. So it looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sweep around. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sweep around.
3, 5, 7, 3, 5, 7, 3, 5, 7, 1, 3, 5, 7. You can do lots of stuff with your hands. You can clap. This is a really common variation. Like this, or clapping.
One of my favorite poses is like a football pose.
I like using my shoulders a lot. And moving my shoulders while doing these. Try all sorts of things, all sorts of variations. Super fun. So those are Suzy Qs.
Next move we're going to talk about is Tocks.
I love TikToks.
So where we were stepping and changing our weight with Suzy Qs earlier, these are entirely just movement based on fanning our feet out.
So if we start off with just our toes, moving the balls of our feet, so our heels are staying in place, and our toes moving back and forth. And then we try the other side. And then we can do the same thing with our heel. So it fans out in the back while it's anchored in the front on the ball of our foot. And same thing on the other side. Now, this is why we talked about the front through the foot.
It also really helps if you have shoes that are a little bit more slick working on these moves. If you don't have slick shoes, we recommend putting some kind of masking tape on.
Yep, duct tape also works. So now to think about these, we're going to alternate. So one foot, heel, other foot, ball of the foot. And so you can see how they they alternate each other. And then you can switch. And a switch. And a switch. Boom. 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 So now you can work on fanning them at the same time. Boom. 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 So we have the same sort of open and close idea in the knees. Open. Boom. Every time you step and switch, your knees come together. Boom. 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 Open. Boom. Boom. So I'm just alternating the toe heel between each of those steps. Switch. 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 Boom. 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 Exaggerated so hopefully you can see it. Just that pick up and switch. Boom. 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 Once you have that, you can start to take it you can take it in either direction. Boom, 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 boom.
Again, the fan itself is sort of what's powering us. When I'm going this way, I sort of rely on my right foot to push me across. When I'm going this way, a lot of it is on my left foot.
You can try with just one foot. Boom, boom. The big distinction is that we're alternating instead of going the same direction. This is something a little bit different. So for this one, we're going both toes, both heels, both toes, both heels. What we're doing is alternating between the two. So one foot is on the toe, the other is on the heel, and then it switches. You can get these going really fast too. This is why I love them. And notice they also move side to side as well.
That's all we have for TikToks, so let's move on to breezy knees or crazy legs.
Yeah.
So breezy knees and crazy legs are basically the same idea. It's just with breezy knees, you're keeping your legs on the ground the whole time and just shaking your knees back and forth. Great little breeze. Crazy legs is when you actually pick your feet up, and it looks like this.
Crazy legs.
So with crazy legs, we are, again, moving our knees apart and together. We are having most of our weight on the ball of our foot. And with each step we take, we're bringing our knees back together. So we're opening together, open together, open together, open together.
It's almost like you're knocking your knees a little bit in the middle. So it's just this, with moving your knees in and out. I like to roll my foot a little bit because that helps move my knees smoother. So when my leg is out, I step down with the outside of my foot and roll in. So I'm kind of rolling side to side across the ball of my foot, just like we would for a Shorty George. Roll, 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 roll. Move, move, move.
And you don't have to roll as much as I'm doing here, but this is just for demonstration to really show you what's going on with our feet.
How do you turn? Yeah. So these are crazy legs. Camel walk?
Camel walk.
Camel walk. I
What do we have?
love camel walks. To start off camel walks, what we're going to do is we're going to pop one knee up. So you're kind of sitting down into your hip on the one side, popping your knee and your heel up, and then you switch. And you switch. The sharper you can make these pops, the cooler your camel walk is going to look. Pop, 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 pop. Notice how I'm really going on to almost the toe of my foot this time. Boom, 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 boom. You can also think about the shoulder, the side that the knee pops up, the shoulder pops up as well. Pop, 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 pop. We'll bring that back in later. Alright, so we're going to move in groups of 3. So if our feet are together, we're going to start with our right foot. We're going to go forward, so our back knee's going to be popped out. We're going to come together and we're going to switch the pop, and then we're going to switch it back. And then this popped knee is what's going to move. Forward, together, and switch. So we're switching that pop each time. Boom, boom, in sets of 3. Forward, popped out, together, switch the pop, switch back. And then that leg goes forward, switch, switch. Forward, together, switch. Forward, together, and switch. Forward, together, and switch.
Forward, together.
Boom, 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 boom. You want to keep those pops really nice and sharp. Otherwise it kind of all just like looks like you're walking kind of funky. But if you hit that pop, 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 boom, boom, boom. And then if you want to add the shoulders in, it's the same thing. The knee that's popped, that shoulder goes up. Boom, 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 boom. Forward, together, switch. 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 I love Camel Walks. So good.
So the last move we're going to talk about is called the Shish Ka Boom Ba.
Shish Ka Boom Ba, 'cause
Named
that's
after
what we're doing.
the rhythm that your footwork is doing. So Shish Ka Boom Ba look like this. 5, 6, 7. It's a triple step sweep, triple step sweep. So you can start on either side, and your foot that is behind you is the one starting the triple step. You're sweeping this leg that's in front of you, and then you're turning and putting that leg in the back. And starting the triple foot with that leg. Triple step sweep, triple step sweep, triple step sweep, triple step sweep. You can do double kicks. Triple step kick, kick, triple step kick, kick, triple step kick, triple step. Shish Ka Boom Ba, Shish Ka Boom Ba, Shish Ka Boom Ba, Shish Ka Boom Ba.
Yeah. You want to show them back?
Sure. 5, 6, 7, 8. Shish Ka Boom Ba.
It's just so much fun, and it's really fun to say Shish Ka Boom Ba a lot. Anything else?
I think that covers it.
Alright. The counts for Shish Ka Boom Ba: 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 5 and 6, 7. Just to clarify. So all of these moves start on 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep. So they're hitting on the odd beats.
Thanks so much for joining our Solo Jazz Saturday.